Okay, so yeah, episode 7 seemed kind of, it wasn't very dramatic. It wasn't very, as you see it, it was just kind of, let's deal with the ghosts, blah blah blah. I liked the scenes with Lexi and Stefan. I've always liked Lexi. I think she's a really cool character, and um, I think that Elena needed to see this. Elena really needed to see how hard it's going to be because she like I said, she has to decide how far she's willing to go to bring Stefan back. And I don't think she's in that place yet. I think she's still too afraid. But you can tell that she's trying. She really, really is. Oh, yeah. Episode 7. Okay, well, the the scenes with the Damon and Elena, yeah, I wish there was more, but I understand why they were kept apart in this one because there was too many different plots going on, too many different stories. So there was no time for them to really overlap. But anyway, moving on to awesome episode, season 3, episode 8, Ordinary People. I was really excited to see this one because I like the episodes with the flashbacks, and the biggest appeal about this one, uh, Elijah. Finally get some Elijah action. I have been waiting for Elijah to come back since he was staked in episode 21, or season 2, episode 21. Oh, I love Elijah. This dude is totally awesome. And I was like, no, don't take Elijah again. The dude had been sick like 3 times in the space of, what, 10 episodes? It was really horrible. I'm, and I was very glad to see him back. And even if it is only in flashback, and I do so hope that they will bring him back, as a more recurring character. I want to see them. I want to say first off, Smarty Pants. I pegged this right. If you read my past blogs, probably my blog about right around episode 2, no, episode 3, the end of the affair when I was talking about the hunter at the end of the episode, the one that came after them in the 20s. I had pegged, why would Klaus be so afraid of a hunter? Just a random hunter. The dude's been alive for 1,000 years. He's probably come across hundreds of hunters. I mean, what makes this one so special? I theorized that who is the original vampire? Big mammoth of vampires could it be afraid of? There's only one person that the most powerful vampire could possibly be afraid of. And the way that Klaus always talks about family, brothers, sisters, mother, I had it in my mind that the only person he could fear that much had to be Big Daddy. And was I not so right? Man, am I psychic? Wow. Because as it turns out, according to the cave writings that Alaric was investigating, Michael is Klaus's father, not his biological father, obviously, but I mean he was raised by Michael. So this family, we have a family of 5. We have Esther, the mother, Michael, the father. We got Klaus, the eldest. Well, they had a child before that, apparently, according to Rebecca. But the child, I'm guessing that was in Scandinavia, probably Sweden or Norway. But the child died due to some sort of plague that was infecting the town where they lived in. So they left there and went to the New World because apparently they had heard that there was special magical creatures there, and they could live free. So they crossed the pond and they went to what is now Mystic Falls, but at that time it was just dense forest land in ancient North America. So we got Mother Esther, and curiously, most of these names are not Scandinavian or Norse in any way, but I guess whatever. Father Michael, Klaus the eldest, Rebecca the middle child, and the youngest Henrik. Oh, sorry, and Elijah. I want to say that the order of the kids is probably Klaus, Elijah, Rebecca, and the youngest Henrik. So 4 kids, 2 parents, family of 6. So they get there, they have more children, and they find out about the werewolves that live there. They live in peace with the werewolves for 20 years, no problems. But they also live in fear of their father. Michael's a very, I don't want to say violent, very strict man. And we're talking 1,000 years ago, in the time of the Vikings, everything was about, being a warrior, being able to survive, and that was Michael's biggest thing, was being able to survive. And he didn't get along with Klaus, I think, because, well, obviously he knew Klaus was not his son. That was never a question. He knew that his wife had had an affair and with one of the wolves, and Klaus was born. I think it was more of a matter of pride because, your woman goes off and sleeps with somebody else. That's a blow to you. But he never really got along with Klaus because he kept his family very strict. And Klaus was always wanting to go off and do his own thing. Wanted to just have fun and be, just out there. Kind of reminds me of sort of Eric from True Blood in a way. How he wanted to just be his own man, They were told specifically by their father that the night of the full moons they were supposed to retreat underground until morning, so they would be protected from the wolves. That night, Klaus and Henrik snuck out to go watch the transformation, and Henrik wound up getting hurt and he died. And it was after that fragile peace between them and the wolves was no more. Their father pretty much lost his mind and wanted revenge, so he asked the witch that was beholden to them, I guess, the witch that was there with them, to cast some sort of spell, some sort of magic that would give them longevity and strength so that they could rise up against the werewolves. And she would not do it. She said it was in complete imbalance of nature and she would have no part of it. Now, when Elena was hearing the story from Rebecca, she originally thought that the woman that they were talking about, the witch, was the original witch. She was not. Apparently, the original witch is Esther, Klaus's mother. The original witch from the original family. Get it? Yeah. Okay, so in the cave, you got all these cave drawings. You got pretty much the story of their entire life being there. Their names are carved into the walls. You got the symbol for vampire, symbol for werewolf, symbol for witch. And you also got symbol for hybrid. You have the whole story about Henrik's death, about the spell that was cast, and everything that happened. All right, there's no Caroline and Tyler in this episode whatsoever, and I can understand there was actually very little of the extraneous characters in this episode. Alaric was only there pretty much. His scenes was dedicated mostly to deciphering the cave drawings. No Jeremy in here either. Bonnie was only there for like maybe one scene in order to give the necklace to Alaric. Or to show it to him because he saw this symbol in the cave drawing that he was unsure of, but he believed that it looked like the necklace and he wanted to be sure, and it was. It turned out to be the symbol for witch. But anyway, most of this episode was flashbacks of the original family, and you had Elena, Rebecca, and Damon. Got to say, I just want to say straight out right now, that training scene where this is after Alaric already went into the cave and took pictures. When they it starts out, he takes pictures, and then he brings Elena over to his apartment to show her the pictures, and she's standing behind him as he's explaining the pictures, doing this little training thing up against Damon. Cute. Love the little faux bite. That was absolutely adorable. I know she maybe shoved him off a little harder than she should have, but it was still cute. It was cute as hell. Because you know that he's playing, and she knows, and he knows that she knows that he's playing. He explains to her the meaning of the symbols, and there's a lot of stuff in there they're still trying to figure out. And then he takes her down into the cave, and it's just them two, and she doesn't realize that Damon is behind her. But I think Alaric saw him first in the shadows. He says, "Don't beware of the bats. There's a lot of them down here. Sometimes they like to sneak up on you." And she turns around. She's like, "What?" Boom! And there's David right there in the corner. Oh, I love that. That was oh, that was funny. Gotta love Damon and his antics. that was cute. So, while they're discussing the pictures, Elena says that the only way they're really going to figure out the truth to the story is to go to the source. And the only original that's left right now is Rebecca. She hadn't been figured too much into episode 7. A lot of people were wondering, did she go off with Klaus? No. Like everybody else in Klaus's life, she got left behind. Klaus ditched and left her there. Ostensibly, I would imagine, to watch over Tyler and everything else. So Elena goes to see her to ask her. Well, she shows up at cheer practice doing her little "I've got all the moves and you ain't shit" dance, which really doesn't impress anybody except maybe the football players staring at her. But Elena wants answers, and of course Rebecca's like, "Who are you to talk to me like that? I'm an original and can snap your neck like a twig." This is why Damon thinks it's kind of not smart for her to go up against Rebecca, or to try and do this whole mean girl to mean girl thing, because Rebecca really could snap her like a twig. But, he trusts what Stefan has said. Even though Stefan's kind of crazy right now, he still trusts that Stefan has said that Rebecca's not going to hurt her. Because she knows that if she causes her any harm or worse, it kills her, Klaus will go off the fucking rail. Because he needs Elena alive. Everybody knows that. Rebecca knows that. So she can't touch her. She honestly can't touch her. So right now, Elena is safe. So she says that she'll tell her whatever she feels like telling her, whatever she feels like. And she walks away, and Elena's like, well, what do I do now? Yeah. So in the meantime, Damon goes to visit Stefan in the jail cell, and I can just see how swimmingly this whole Lexi experiment has gone, because apparently ever since the spirits disappeared, Elena just hasn't been down there at all because she just can't deal with torturing Stefan. So she sends Damon to do it instead. So they exchange some barbs and some words, and Damon decides, instead of leaving him there to rot, because he's my brother, I can't leave him there to rot, he frees him instead. Because it looked as though Stefan had just given up. He just said, screw it, I'm just going to rot here, whatever. He lets Stefan go, and it takes him, I think they left the city limits or something, because they wound up in some kind of honky-tonk, some kind of country bar, where Dan was definitely overdressed. Or underdressed, if you want to see it in that way. So Damon orders alcohol, and Stefan orders up a vein. And at first I'm like, Damon, what the hell are you doing? He's going to kill the whole bar. But, especially because he's been down there for days. Probably. Which is weird. I would have thought that because Lexi made him think that he was desiccated and hadn't been fed in years, that he would pretty much go medieval on the whole bar, but he didn't. So maybe when Lexi popped back off to the other side, whatever mind mojo she was working on kind of went away. So he feeds off the waitress. They play with her a little bit. Damon does not touch her at all. Only Stefan does. Curiously, that's because Damon's being a good boy. Yay. Go, Damon. I think Damon's idea was to give Stefan a taste of freedom. Freedom away from Klaus. Freedom. He was trying to get him to remember what it was like to have free will, because he was like, why are you wanting to be under Klaus's thumb? You could be your own person, make your own choices. You don't need to do what he asks you to do. You fought his compulsion before. Fight it again.